everybody, I just wanted to share a little bit about pizza dough mix today and how awesome our products are with the pizza dough as well. So first of all, our mix comes in a package like this, and there's a dry yeast packet in here. So you just add milk and oil, and then you let it rise. I have a video on that already. And this is in our mixing bowl, and this is after the dough's been rising for 1 hour. And so it's double inside, really. So I'm gonna take the dough out, and I'm gonna put it on a roll pat. The roll pat is awesome because you can roll pizza dough, cookie dough, pie dough, you name it, and it doesn't stick, but the mat does stick to your counter, so that's great. So this is also our beechwood rolling pin, which I love for rolling doughs out because you can see I can apply the pressure where I want it to go when you're rolling. So you can kind of get a more even roll how you want to do it. So what we're gonna do first of all is show you if you're gonna flip this pizza dough onto a bond mat, how easy it is. And so I've got it rolled out on my roll pat, nothing perfect, I kind of like a rustic edge. And then you're going to take your bond mat. I'm gonna show you the large bond mat and how it fits up size-wise with the roll pat. You can see that. And then you flip the whole thing over. So this is what we're gonna cook it on. I like to pull the sides over, flip it over, and then watch how we peel that dough right off. Isn't that cool? And now you can top it however you'd like. Okay, so I just wanted to show you also, so that was one whole pizza mix. This is the second one in the mixing bowl. And I'm gonna use our flexible scraper to cut the dough in half. And it's great for picking the dough up as well. So I just want half of the dough for now, because I'm going to do half of it with the medium round mold and half with the steel pan. So here's just half of the pizza dough mix. And this time I'm gonna make a circle because we're gonna use it with the medium round mold. So you're gonna roll the pizza dough out to create your circle. And again, you can see how awesome this rolling pin is to be able to get the exact shapes and sizes you want for what you're working with. So I'm just kind of working it around. You can see I press where I need to press with the rolling pin versus if you had a rolling pin with handles out here. So this is great. So then I can kind of check on my guidelines and see if this is the right size I want. And I want to go just a little bit wider than that because I got a little fun surprise for you guys with this one. So you can absolutely put this pizza dough inside the Flexipan and you can create kind of like a little pizza pie. But did you also know that you can cook on the outside of our Flexipans, and that's what I'm gonna do in this case. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the Flexipan mold upside down, and now I'm gonna pick up the roll pat. Because isn't that cool? You cannot pick up your counter, but you can pick up your roll pat. And I'm gonna place it over the Flexipan mold, so it's pretty even. And then I'm gonna pull the roll pat back, and now I've got my dough set over the mold, and I'm gonna bake it just like that. Okay, so now I've got the second half of our dough we're gonna put on steel pan. For those of you who don't know about steel pan, you can see there's actually holes in there. It's kind of like a mesh. And so it's part of our Silform line. And that's gonna allow you to have an extra crispy dough. So if you've got someone in your family that likes their crust extra crispy, then you're gonna wanna use the steel pan for that, okay? It's great for gluten-free doughs, which this is not, this is gluten-filled. But if you have a gluten-free pizza recipe that you really like, the steel pan's really great for helping to get it extra crispy, okay? So then you can see this is gonna be a little bit smaller than I did with the large because the steel pan is the size of a medium bond mat. Just like I did with the large, I'm gonna put that over top so I can make sure I've got the right size. You can just flip the whole thing over and then peel this off and kind of shape your dough to whatever size you want, and then top it and enjoy. Okay, so our pizza bowl's out of the oven. I just want to show you how we flip this, and then we're going to fill it. So I'm going to end up cooking it on the bond mat. So I take my medium bond mat over top, and then just kind of use my hand to catch it. And then I want to show you how beautiful this is. So we can just peel that mold right out. So obviously I didn't do a very good job of getting it even, but you can still create this really neat bread bowl that we're gonna now fill with some fun toppings. I'll turn it this way so you can see better. So first thing I wanna do is take some of our sweet basil oil, and I'm just gonna brush a little bit of that on the bottom. I don't have any fresh basil at home right now, and we love fresh basil on our pizza, so I'm just gonna brush this oil in there to give it a little bit of more basil flavor and kind of brush it all around, which will be yummy and delicious with our pastry brush. And then we're gonna add some red sauce, because we really like red sauce here in this house. And going to do 2 different types of meat because I've got some meat lovers in the house. And so we've got some pepperoni, and then we've got some chicken sausage that I actually cooked up just to brown a little bit in my half deep Flexi on the small perforated baking sheet. And so that's really fun. Just kind of get that brown. I like the taste of that better if it's browned up. And then we're gonna add a little bit of mozzarella cheese. And actually when I do these bowls like this, I mean, you could do a ton of veggies and so forth, but we actually do 2 layers. So next up is gonna do just a little bit more red sauce, which I just love. Using one of my mini spatulas for that. Spread that out a little bit. And then again, more meat. So you can kind of see, you do lots of veggies, lots of meat, whatever toppings you normally put, you're just gonna fill it up a little bit more. And then top in the cheese, I'm gonna put it back in just long enough to melt the cheese is all we need to do.